Hello, hello. Welcome to the live chat. Welcome, one and all. Happy Thursday to you. It is going to be a hot topic Thursday. And you know what? It is, well, all I can say is there's a lot of stuff happening right now. And maybe some of it you've heard of, and like a few things I'm pretty sure um it's like unfolding as we speak. So I guess we should start with the hot stuff first. Let's see, where should I start? Let's just start with Prince Charles. Prince Charles is said to have contracted HIV again for the not HIV. What am I saying? I'm thinking about Harry's thing today, but no, it's with COVID, with COVID for the second time, and people are very concerned because he was just visiting his mother, the Queen, which is, got to be pretty frightening for him right now. So he's isolated. As far as I know, he's isolated. But the thing is, what does that mean for the Queen since they were recently together? So I'm sure the courtiers right now are in a bit of a frenzy because of this, because the palace, they say, will not confirm or deny that the Queen may be ill right now. I'm just going to assume she's probably not. Just because they were together. I'm pretty sure, I can't really say 100% certain that there's constant testing involved with members of the royal family. But I'm going to tell you what really frustrates me in this moment is that every day the tabloid press family scrutinizes people like Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and so many other people. They'll say another maskless gathering. They were maskless. Nobody had a mask on. They love to run the Obamas into the ground for Barack Obama's birthday party. So I don't think it's too petty of me right now to say that I'm not as sympathetic as I should be because of the way that the Obamas, the Bidens, and so many other Democrats have been treated by the tabloid press. Yeah, right now they're running Sarah Palin into the ground because of some of the things that she's done lately, like, testing positive and appearing to go to dinner without any regard or concern for anyone else around them. But as an American, I'm supposed to be all invested and concerned about what's happening with the British royal family in Narnia. But I'm supposed to, I guess, bow my head in agreement or, you know, wink and nod every time there's a vicious attack against Joe Biden, who is actually given the charge as president to try to end this pandemic for the people in the United States, if not other people in the world. But nobody yells maskless when you see Prince Charles out and about. Nobody yells maskless when you see the Queen out and about. I've seen the Queen in mixed company with people, and who's to say the Queen couldn't be the one spreading the pandemic around? as opposed to saying, well, it's this person or that person. But she has an exemption because she's the queen. Charles has an exemption because he's Prince Charles, the Prince of Wales. I think it's very hypocritical. And so right now, everybody is going to hold their breath, hoping that the queen is okay, hoping that Charles is okay, and so on and so forth. But I think that the British media, the British mainstream media, has treated quite a few Americans terribly about this the with the pandemic. And of course, I'm avoid saying the other word because I don't want to get flagged by the YouTube. So I just say pandemic in place of it. So anyway, that's what's going on. In case you guys didn't know, I'm going to say good morning to a few of you. Robin Rogers, Black Queen, Angela Watt, good morning. Denise Jones, Anna Espinoza, Roxy Hall, Terry H., Sarah Turner, Fatima Ba, welcome, good morning. Miranda Rios, Elizabeth, welcome, good morning. Sharon Davis, well, good afternoon for some of y'all. Who else we got here? I see Lydia Washington is here, one of the fantastic moderators. Hello, Scorpio. Joan Garcia. Hi, Shelly James. Lucy Wynn. Joan Commonwealther. Valerie Serg, welcome. Good morning. That's the first time I've seen that name. I like it though. Nadine Salas Richards. So, what do you guys have to say about this revelation that has just come about? This is like, yeah. Good morning, Connie Balmer. Welcome. Good morning. Afternoon. This is pretty alarming, isn't it? Prince Charles met the Queen on Tuesday, just 2 days before the 73-year-old announced he had COVID for the second time. Sources insist Monarch 95 is showing no symptoms of the virus. Prince Charles tests positive for COVID a second time. Yeah, so let me see. Pretty sure he wouldn't shed the fake tears. Well, I have a theory that anytime that somebody pranks calls the queen and yell into the phone, boo, I'm pretty sure that that's Prince Charles. And of course, when somebody pranks call Prince Charles and yells into the phone, boo, I'm pretty sure that's William. Or William may be prank calling both of them. It's a whole Game of Thrones thing going on with that family. So you just never know. The queen answers her phone. Hello, boo, Charles. Charles, I know that's you, Charles. So you just never know what level some of these people will stoop to in order to secure the bag. Oh, I'm sorry, the throne. I agree. They went after Stacey Abrams until she apologized, was so mad that she did. The children were safe, so I didn't see what the fuss was about. Joan Commonwealther, exactly. This is what I'm saying. Every day I watch a parade of stories about Americans who have likely been vaccinated 3 times, who likely have been tested more times than I'm sure the Queen has. And yet, the British tabloid media viciously attacks these Americans every day. One of these days, this campaign of hate is going to catch up to them, and I hope it does really soon. Oh yeah, Nadine, I didn't think about that. Let me see. This is all a lie, just another distraction. The Queen Consort Declaration is not going over so well. My point of view, you know what? My point of view, that is brilliant. I didn't think about that, but that is possibly a good reason, considerably, possibly, and likely a good reason why we have to weaponize the queen's age and make her frail and vulnerable and get everybody alarmed and concerned just so we can distract from the fact that that whole queen consort thing is not going so well. I hadn't considered that, but that is absolutely brilliant. Thank you for that. Um, Rosa Roberts. Hello, Elizabeth. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Rosa says, good morning, Elizabeth, Adora, the Scorpio, Terry, Sheila, Jelaine, Sunshines, Skelton, Queen Patricia, Cookies and Cream. There's a good morning for you all. Let's see. Honestly, I don't care about Shutter Island. Only Meghan, Harry, their kids, Doria matter. Why does America just look on when the president is abused by the UK tabloids? I don't know, Connie. I'm very frustrated by that. But they say nothing. They say nothing. And Obama, trying to celebrate his 60th birthday, was bombarded day after day after day. While in Narnia, that Aunt McParlin, whatever his name is, his wedding went on, and no one wore a mask. There was nothing said about it. They said, oh, the Obamas are making the staff wear a mask, but they're not wearing the mask. Of course, everyone was, screened before the event. However, for that McFartman, whatever his name is, wedding, they said absolutely nothing about the fact that it was likely, possibly, allegedly, a super spreader event. I even made a video about that. That's how frustrated I was. I actually made a video about that. But of course, I'm no big player in the game, so nobody really remembers that I made the video. But it was days and days of frustration trying to shame the Obamas into canceling his birthday. And in tandem with that, there was the whole thing about, oh, the Obamas did not invite the Sussexes. They're actually closer to the Cambridges and they side with the royal family. This went on for days and I was sick of it. Do you hear me? Sick! I was sick of it. Let's see. Nadine Salas Richards says it's just a reaction to fallout of recent announcement regarding Camilla's title not being well received. Let's await a similar story regarding Mumbles. and Button's Commonwealth trip. The tabloids need to stop with the lies and leave Americans alone and concentrate on their own people. Well, you know what? I'm going to get to some of that hypocrisy very soon, but I have to tell you, I am very frustrated by this. I'm not, of course, trying to jinx anybody or wish anything bad on the Queen, but day after day, I voted for Joe Biden. I voted for him. He was my preference for president. I voted for him, and I'm supporting him today. I still send all my thoughts and prayers and support to him. And I don't care what anybody thinks about the fact that I supported him and continue to support him. And so, because of that, it behooves me as an American to see the British tabloid press going after the person that I voted for. But I'm supposed, I get people from the UK that say, how dare I speak about things I don't know about, and another American making comments about the British. I have to take it all day. The British tabloid press seems to have quite a presence in the United States, and I'm supposed to just nod my head and agree whether or not I think it's correct. I'm supposed to nod my head and agree and watch countless Americans, and not just Americans, but African Americans, viciously attacked by news agencies like the Daily Fail. I'm supposed to be okay with that. I'm supposed to help them weaponize their media platform against African Americans like Stacey Abram, like Kamala Harris, like the Duchess of Sussex, like Doria Ragland, like so many other people. I'm supposed to be okay with that. So I'm just saying, I'm just saying, let's see, shucking and jiving from slavery is over. Absolutely, Joan Garcia. Yep. Hasta la victoria siempre. That's what I say. Let me see, claiming to be a victim. Oh, Boris Johnson's wife is claiming to be a victim of what she well knows was done to Meghan for public. Yeah. Bojo's wife is supposed to be so fragile and so hurt and so injured by any criticism, especially since she's a new mom and all that kind of stuff. They didn't give a rat's behind what was said or done to the Duchess of Sussex. As a matter of fact, there's even people in the UK that happen to be people of color that will say she should have known better. She knew what she got into. Of course, a lot of people buy this whole greedy, pushy American trope. I mean, the tabloids, what I'm trying to say is that the tabloids, they're trying to divide people. They're creating animosity between people of different racial backgrounds and ethnicities and such. This is something that they're doing in the plain light of day, and they're getting away with it. They are creating hostility from one group to the other, and nobody seems to stand up to them. What the UK fears is Harry and Meghan outshining the other royals across the pond. Can you imagine what is that? Pannonia? Um, is it? Should that be pandemonium? They could um, they could stir with the sharp contrast between the royals earning their own and those on public funds. Well, I'm going to get to that. I'm going to get to that, but let's do this one. They did a serious hit job on Megan and continue so much. It's is making its way into the U.S. right wing groups. Yeah, yeah. They're weaponizing people. They're weaponizing people. They're weaponizing the right wing against the Sussexes. And I guess the big hope is that there will be people out to protest and create mischief anytime the Sussexes say or do anything. So let me see. Um, it's a shame that Meghan wasn't allowed to enjoy her pregnancy. The Sussexes lost a baby at the hands of these racehorse animals. You know, I can't say the other word, cookies and cream, but I get what you're saying. Yeah, they made life very difficult for Meghan, and I'm sure most of us saw the photos of Meghan and Harry leaving a professional building where there happens to have been medical offices around or about the time when they lost the second child. And there was the tabloid or someone paid by the tabloid at this very sensitive moment for the Sussexes. It was caught on camera. Harry, of course, the photos are very painful, very painful. And of course, I would never share those photos, but it was absolutely painful, especially after the fact when you realize exactly what was likely the purpose of their visit to that professional building. Even that was exploited. It's a power move to hint the Sussexes we don't care about uh, we don't care about their country, and we will excoriate anyone who excoriate anyone, no matter who they are. I blame the U.S. for mistaken softness for tolerance. Let's see. I just read an article telling what the royals are worth, and it said that Willie is worth 40 million, Harry is 50 million. That's why they are hating on Harry. Well, Mashar, William is going to be worth a whole lot more. Whenever the Queen goes to her glory, he's going to take over that Duchy of Cornwall, and Charles will take over the Duchy of Lancaster. And their fortunes are only going to increase in the very near future. So I can't imagine that anybody is concerned about that right now, only because William has not even begun to tap into the amount of wealth that's going to come his way with that Duchy of Cornwall. Charles has been trying, I believe, to get William involved in the duchy, and William doesn't really care about it because that would mean he would have to work. And so when the time comes, just like Charles, William's going to have some, I don't know, stooge in his collection of misfits to help him manage that portfolio that comes with the Duchy of Cornwall. Let's see. There are people who lose their decency for dollars and sell pictures of the Sussexes. Yeah, yeah, it absolutely. Um, but you know what? I'm going to say this, Scorpio. I'm just going to go out on a limb. There are more people that are probably protecting the Sussexes in the U.S. than would ever want to hurt them. I think some people are not going to just take the quick cash. That being said, I hope there's never any photos that are so valuable to them that they would, spend a huge amount of money to, get those photos from someone. So, thank you, Lydia. That's a good idea. Thank you so much. Uh, Let me see. Hi, Myra. Queen's going to her glory. She already got her glory in this world. Where she is going is. Okay, so let's talk about this. Let me get rid of this picture of Lord Nappy Head or whoever. Let me get rid of that. And we'll talk about Tackle HIV. TackleHIV.org. So Prince Harry appeared alongside Gareth. God, what is his last name? Anyway, Gareth. Oh my goodness, I forgot his last name. But anyway, Prince Harry spoke to him about the current state of HIV and the lack of information and so on and so forth. Like, I watched the whole thing today. And so, as you can see, the upper left hand corner, Gareth has this big grin on his face because Harry referred to him as the older generation and that he was much older than myself, as Harry said. And Gareth kind of laughed. He said, "But my guns are way bigger than yours," pointing to his biceps, of course. Um, and so, yeah, and so he and Harry had a big laugh about that. And it was a very, very good conversation. And you can tell that Harry is very much in touch with the information. They're good friends. And at a time when Gareth was being shunned by a lot of people, Harry helped, to bring a lot of light and information and such. And so they've been good friends. And Harry, of course, has been involved with this fight to, spread information about HIV because there's such a stigma. You may remember that Harry and um, why am I so bad with names today? I am so bad with names. This is crazy. I must be from a very older generation. You know, the Fenty girl. What is her name? Good God, this is awful. I am having a senior moment. I'm having a senior moment. What is happening to me? Where is my coffee cup right now? But anyway, you may remember that Harry. Thank you, Lucy. When Harry and Rihanna took the HIV test, and as a result of that, there was this huge amount, like a 500% surge in testing because of this moment right here. Now, some people were speculating at the time that, they just looked a little bit too warm and cozy with one another. But Harry has that effect on anybody. Everybody is Harry's best friend. Everybody. Harry doesn't have a mean bone in his body. And there's something so disarming about his personality that is so easy for him to cross any type of socioeconomic divide. And so this is effortless for Harry to find himself in these situations. Now, Harry told Gareth that he wasn't sure that it was really necessary because I already know my status, and but he was reassured that a lot of good would come out of it, and so he did. And anyway, he's probably helped more people than we can count. So anyway, I see there's 531 of you here in the live chat. Thank you for joining us for Royal Sussex Thursday, Hot Topic Thursday. Okay. And so back to this right here. Anyway, Gareth said that he's in a privileged position. And one reason why he feels as though he's privileged is because he lives in a Western industrialized nation where there's good health care. There's also lots of information. There's so many reasons why he has to feel blessed, even though he has contracted the HIV, and most likely with whatever medications he's taken, he's likely undetectable, which means that it would be very unlikely that he would actually be in a position where he could actually spread his status as HIV positive with another person. So it's almost as though people have decided that it's not a big deal. People are taking more risks than ever. And so Harry and Gareth were just hoping to remind people that even though this is a chronic disease, there are still some people who are dying from HIV. You just don't hear about it. It's not fashionable anymore to support these causes. And so Harry, working on behalf of his mother's memory and all of her hard work as a pioneer in HIV and AIDS information, there he is. He's continuing the work of his mother. He even said that my mom's work is undone and he wants to continue that. And Gareth said to Harry, he said, Harry, what makes you a strength ally? Which I thought was kind of a weird way to put it. He called him a strength ally. And I think it's because of his mother's legacy. That is why he is a strong ally in the cause, is because that was a seed that was planted by the Queen of Hearts. And that, of course, Princess Diana, who was very brave in the days when so many people would shun those infected with HIV. So just imagine how many people that were affected by the kindness and generosity from Princess Diana. Good morning, Lorna Castellanos. Thank you so much for the super sticker, and a happy Thursday to you. Hey, Kathy, Gabby, Gabrielle. Good morning. Mary Hiker is here. Thank you so much. Anastasia Isabella, one of our moderators, is here. And Lil Rock says, yes, indeed. TQ got all the flowers in its entirety. TQ, I'm not sure what that is. I told you I'm bad with names today for some reason. All that's left, plant some soil in their space. TQ. What is TQ? Gosh, I'm so sorry. I've missed that. Um. Okay. The Queen. Oh. I knew I would get it. The Queen. I'm so sorry about that. I did have coffee today, you guys. I did have coffee. It'd have been nice if Rihanna had spoke up to defend Harry about his character. Yeah, Trish Riccardi. Um, you know, and in some respects, I think a lot of people have used their voices to try to defend Harry. But honestly, even as far as Patrick J. Adams is concerned, it wouldn't be proper for people that know the Sussexes to try to create a campaign like that. It would be nice, but the only thing is, it's only going to draw more heat to them. It's going to distract from some of the other things that they're doing. So I'm pretty sure that on some occasion, when Rihanna has been asked about Harry, she's had some nice things to say. But I'm pretty sure the Sussexes do not want anyone to spend their downtime or their working hours trying to protect them. They're in the US, they have a voice of their own now. So um, we have to trust the process. The only thing is, whatever anyone says, they are being drowned out by the weight of the British tabloid media, which is incredibly strong in the English speaking world. So it's not a lot that any single individual, even Rihanna, can do to help them. I hope that makes sense to you. But um, I've had those thoughts too. Why don't someone say this or say that? But the truth is, a lot of people have said the very things that need to be said, but it's just that they're being shouted down by the tabloid press. So I hope that's helpful. But yeah, I understand, Trish. It's very, very frustrating, and I feel the same way you do. But I don't think Harry and Meghan expects anyone to um, try to carry that burden for them more than would appear to be tasteful or necessary. So that's just my opinion, though. Okay, so there's another image of Gareth and Harry. As you can see, they've been friends for a long time, and this side of Harry is just why we love him so much. Okay, so let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. Um, I'm gonna remove this so that you can see that it says Princess Eugenie. So there's little August. I'm not sure what the rest of his name is. And you probably recognize the other two photos. That's Archie. That's Archie Mountbatten-Windsor. Um, there he is at his chick in. And of course, there he is on his birthday raising money. I forgot to figure, but you remember little Archie for his birthday, he helped raise money. Well, they're saying that Eugenie is following the Sussexes' lead by protecting the privacy of little August. See there? You don't see August's face for a very good reason, because she's trying to protect the child's privacy. I think it's a good idea. And I think that more royals are going to do the same. I think that that's going to be very common in the future. A lot of things are going to change for that family very soon, and it's going to be very interesting. Good morning, moderator Mo Shannon. Good morning. Welcome to the live chat. So, let's see. That's that. Okay. Do we know why Oprah hasn't come up to make it clear that there is nothing wrong between her and the Sussexes? Um, Jehovah, I have to say this. Um, Oprah has had a lot of experience with the tabloids. The tabloids have announced that she was dying on so many occasions. They have called her everything under the sun. They have accused her of being broke. They have accused her of a lot of things. And so she knows how to navigate these tabloids. But anytime you say something to help someone, you're drawing heat. You're going to draw heat. And what happens is the tabloids are going to turn around and attack you. And everything you say and do for, let's say, a month will be scrutinized by the rags. And it's maybe more attention than what you would want to have at that particular point in time. I mean, look at Omid Scobie. Omid Scobie has been accused of being the Duchess of Sussex's mouthpiece. Omid spoke out recently about a few things concerning the Sussexes, and he was targeted by the tabloid. He himself is a journalist, and depending on where I am in my working life, I wouldn't want that heat if I could avoid it. I believe that in Oprah's case, Oprah has done more for the Sussexes in terms of giving them a voice since they left Narnia than anyone else has. So if she never does anything else in this life, she's done more than most people. So I wouldn't put that burden on her to say she needs to go out there and say this or say that. Life just doesn't work that way. And it would be nice, but in the big picture, I don't think it would make much of a difference. It will only insert the Sussexes into the news cycle more than they already are for the worst possible reasons. So I think Oprah's doing just fine where she is right now. Okay, you are correct. The establishment stands to lose if the things Harry and Meghan stand for find a footing. They don't want a more equal society, and the media is their mouthpiece. Let's see here. One impactful way supporters of Harry and Meghan could dilute the tabloids' vitriol is to speak constantly about Harry and Meghan's um, resume in great detail to tell their true story. Most people have no clue about who they are. Yeah, Sash, that would be a good idea. I think that if people are speaking well of them and inform people about the things that they're doing, it would make a big difference. But the big problem is the American press, especially ABC, they have been infiltrated by the tabloid medias. Okay. And so somehow the royal households, whether it's Clarence House, Kensington Palace, or even Buckingham Palace, they tend to have some type of sway. They're very persuasive on the narrative about the Sussexes. And that's why I think it would be very dangerous to try to drive the narrative for them, because whatever happens, it's going to go back to, but didn't they want their privacy? How many times have you seen an American report and then all of a sudden someone will say, but I thought they wanted their privacy? It was said they wanted their privacy. It backfires fast. So it would be lovely if they would say something about them without using the talking points from the British media. But the truth is, the Sussexes are kind of on their own as far as the legacy media is concerned. We cannot trust the big American media organizations with the Sussexes' future because they seem to work on behalf of Narnia. Do you understand what I'm saying? It happens time and time again. So I don't know that that would be helpful. ABC is part of the royal family PR in America. Fatima Ba, that's just what I'm saying. That's just what I'm saying. So it would be nice if that were possible. The closest that we've ever come to someone really taking up the cause for the Sussexes was the Oprah interview and CBS. But yet there's a late night, overnight news program on CBS where I saw Johnny Diamond, um, saying all of these things that were negative toward the Sussexes. And this was right after Oprah's interview, saying all of these things that uplifted jazz hands. I wish it would work, but I'm pessimistic. It's not going to work. If you get someone to say something nice about the Sussexes, somehow that royal family PR machine will hijack the interview, will hijack the news story. And it happens every time. I think the strategy is to give those rodents enough rope to kill themselves. They come out with the truth later. That would be my strategy. And of course, we're saying figuratively kill themselves. I have to throw that in there. People fear their jobs are being dragged too much to is expected of Harry and Meghan. They're handling enough as it is. As you say, we must trust them to have enough competent staff. You're right about the Oprah and ABC. Thank you, Michelle Fierce. Yeah. And it's as I try to explain stuff as best I understand it, but to oversimplify a situation, like they used to say, why don't Oprah just take a family from the housing projects and buy them a house? She's done that already. She's actually done that. There's a lot of things that people would say, why don't Oprah do because she's rich? And I would hear people say that constantly. They say the same thing about a lot of people. And in so many cases, they've already done it, but nobody was paying attention. I can tell you for sure, I've seen where Oprah has been very generous to people, to families of color. And a big deal was made about it in that moment. But then the next person will come along and say she's not doing enough. Look at how many people Oprah has put through university, and it's never enough. So I don't think it's fair to try to burden someone else to defend the Sussexes when they've already done it, and they also have their lives to be concerned with and their well-being. So it would be nice, but as I said, the media hijacks so many of these situations. When Harry and Meghan are doing, let me see, I'm sorry here. Harry and Meghan are doing the work. It speaks for itself. The rodents and the tabloids know it, just can't express it. Yeah, that is so true, Miss Levi Hemmings. So I think I've gone on about this enough, but we could talk about this again sometime because it is a good topic about yeah, thank you for that, Denise Marcus. There's so many things. And people tell me sometimes, they say, Baron, there's a channel called Sharian Sade. You should mention that. How many times have I mentioned that channel? And then I'll hear about another channel and another channel. It's things I've already mentioned, but I got work to do for my channel. And so I can't start every day telling everybody about somebody else's channel because I got work to do myself. So if that's a great case in point or an example of what I'm saying, please give me an amen if you understand what I'm saying. I've done it already. And yet tomorrow somebody will say, there's a channel sharing, and I've already spoke about it several times. So if it happens to me and I'm just, Royal Sussex with 12,200 followers, if it happened to me, imagine how many other people that happens to. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Amen. Thank you. Thank you. You guys understand what I'm saying. So, yeah, I'm trying to use that as a good example to say that there are people that are doing a lot for the Sussexes. And yes, it's frustrating. It may not seem like it's enough, but trust me, there are people helping them as much as they can without losing their jobs. Okay. The royal PR is very powerful. and they are doing so much to counter any positive news that comes out about the Sussexes. But you know what? That's what we're here for. That's why we're having this conversation right now, because where the legacy media lets off, where common sense fails, the Sussex squad will help carry that burden. So that's why we're here. So let's get to this. So before all of this stuff came out about the possible infection of the Queen from Prince Charles, this is just a little something that I threw together today. Not to be cruel or anything, but just a little something I put together. Oh, you know what? I'll come back to that because I just realized I skipped ahead of a few things. Okay, so we have this. Queen held for role in fighting racehorses in the UK, held in the hearts of so many. But yet, you have here Buckingham Palace ethnic minorities from office roles. I'm sorry, ban ethnic minorities from office roles, papers reveal. I believe that was in The Guardian. So two things can be true at the same time. It's always possible for more than one thing to be true at the same time. And so you have, on the one hand, the PR machine saying that the Queen has been like, you know, Martin Luther Windsor or something like that. And then on the other hand, you have the other story is that there is a constant, um, I guess, restrictions for people of color within the royal households because there's a lot of people that work for the royal family. And those people that work, and when they say minorities, they're not just talking about people of color. You do understand that sometimes that refers to someone who is Italian or someone who is Irish. It basically can mean, and I'm going to put this very, I'm going to put an asterisk on it. It could basically mean people who are not of English descent. Do you understand? If it's someone of color who goes back several generations in the UK, then I'm pretty sure that's still a minority. Or if it's someone who's from Ireland, that can still be a minority. So they play with the numbers, and I'm sure that the amount of people of color that actually work within the royal household is far fewer than anybody could even suspect. So there's that. Yeah, it's a certain way. Like the first time I went to Europe and I went to I stayed at a hostel, they asked me my nationality. Now, any African American that goes to Europe will tell you when they ask you what is your nationality, the first thing you do is ball your fist up because you think something is about to go down. Okay? That's my reaction. Now, a lot of people who have not lived my life, that are not my age, would not experience that knee jerk reaction to what is your nationality. And so after I took a deep breath and exhaled, I said, "Oh, USA. Okay." And then it was over with. You understand what I'm saying? So it's a way that you can play with who is and who is not a minority and who is not other things. So I think that that's a possibility when it comes to that. So they are all covering for each other. This is bigger than you think. If you do your research, just keep praying for Harry and Meghan. The corporations involved in that trafficking goes from US to all the way to the UK. Uh-huh. I understand what you're saying. And I think everybody else gets what you're saying too. I do. I get it. Um Yes, good and plenty. There is that. That is basically a German woman that we're looking at right there. There's more German than anything else. That being said, um, it, we're not going to disparage the Germans because of things from the past. There's a lot of like-minded people in Germany that feel the same way that we do. So we shouldn't disparage the Germans because of. Yes. Okay. Um, yes, they are German descent. They changed their name because there was fear that the British people retaliating on them. Yes, that's true. um, I wish I knew what that meant. I think what is that? Ein. Okay, I'm not sure what it means. I think this cover is underway because the chickens are fast coming home to roost, and it caught them off guard big time. They had hoped to keep the window dressing up for longer. Yeah, yeah, when the queen goes to her glory, I'm telling you, a lot of things, institutions that seem so permanent will collapse. So right here it says, okay, this is the thing about the burnout. I think we covered this pretty well. I made a video about it, and I'm just going to touch on it for a minute here. To show you how irrelevant Prince Harry is, Prince Harry has taken charge of the news cycle twice in the same week. One for this thing about the burnout, right? And then the other, of course, with Gareth. And you wouldn't know it, but while this is going on, did you guys know that William is in Dubai planting trees for the earworm thing that he's involved with? That earshot or earwax, whatever they call that thing. William is over in Dubai planting trees, and the world was supposed to stop rotating on its axis so that we could all gather around our television sets and electronic devices and say, "Oh my goodness, he's doing such a great job. We don't know what he's doing, but thank goodness he's doing it." Thank goodness that he has burned so many carbon emissions going over to Dubai so he can plant that tree. William has burned through more fuel to get to Dubai than it would take to heat up a town in northern England. You know what I'm saying? He's burning fuel while other people cannot even heat their homes so that he could go over there and plant some trees in the name of earwax or ear, what is it called? Um Something. Anyway, that's what he's doing right now. You know, I'm for a minute there I thought he was doing something unnecessary, but I'm glad that he's gone, and I'm pretty sure there's many people who are so pleased that he's out the country, that we probably couldn't even calculate it. But so he was in such a hurry. This was such an emergency that he goes over there to Dubai. Instead of putting on some proper clothes for gardening, he decided to wear a finely tailored suit so that he could help these kids in Dubai plant trees on a beach that will probably get washed away in the next storm. I'm so glad that he's over there doing that because if he wasn't, who would? I mean, if he didn't go, who else would have gone? I tell you, this is why I support him, because he's brilliant. He does things that nobody else thinks of. He'll burn more carbon trying to get to Dubai to plant those trees than he will to help the people in the UK heat their homes. Now, see, if we had a tabloid like the ones they have in the UK, this would be the headline. But we don't have that in the US. We don't have a tabloid that actively attacks the royal family. But the British have a tabloid that actively attacks the American people. See how that works out? What if, what if there were a group of nasty individuals who sat around their laptops all day and tried to say what I just said. How would that work out? But we don't have that. We don't have that equivalent. If this was Harry over there planting trees in a Dubai mangrove, could you imagine how that story would have worked out? We don't have that. I don't really care what William's doing. I don't hate William. I don't care about William. But I have to call him out because of what's happening to the Sussexes. I don't want to be petty. I don't want to be cruel. But I have no choice if the Sussexes are constantly being attacked for actually helping people, as opposed to William, who's on this vanity project to plant trees and look responsible when there's so many people in the United Kingdom that could use his help right now. Look at this. This is the earworm thing. And this is that big event that was supposed to herald the dawn of a new day of environmental consciousness. You see that? And there's a family that were on their way to Tesco's to get some, heat and eat food from the Tesco's finest because nobody wanted to cook that day. And they just happened upon this event that nobody else in the UK seemed to care about. That's why there's more photographers and security than there is the public looking onto this event. Now, this little narrow shot right here, that was about the extent of interest from the greater public. Nobody showed up, nobody cared, nobody watched. So William, armed with this knowledge, thought, what if I go to Dubai and plant some trees? How stupid can you be? Anyway, I tried to find this story again in the Daily Fail. I think they yanked it. I think the Daily Fail yanked this story earlier because I couldn't find it. I tried to go back and find it, and it wasn't there. And the reason why it's not there is because of, the thing going on with Charles and the Queen, and this looks incredibly irresponsible. That's why it's not there. This was a wasted trip. So, anyway, I would like to see your thoughts about this. Teach us to number our days and apply our hearts to wisdom. Thank you for that. You're welcome, Church Nelly. Somebody's got to call him out. No one plants trees wearing a suit. This kind of performative, just for photo op BS is part of the problem with them. Only the most brainwashed royal family supporters will applaud. You got that right. Hi, Veronica Quick. Hi, Baron. I'm at work. We are watching the news, and they just showed Prince William in the UAE. Okay. Okay. I tried to find it in the fail again. I couldn't find it. It looks like they yanked it, but something tells me he's on a plane back to Narnia right now. William has gone from handsome young man to ugly old troll. Jealousy is a that. It sure is. So let me see. Where was I here? Anyway, let's go on. It's so much to cover today. I guess this is going to go 2 hours. British royals, Prince William and Kate coming to Jamaica. Are you really? Are you really going to Jamaica? I imagine that because of recent events, with the Queen, they may not go. They may have a good reason. And as you all just told me, they think that this whole thing of Charles being with the Queen and the Queen possibly being exposed may be a big cover so that they don't have to go through with this. Now, this is supposed to happen in March. Now, from what I hear, there is what do you call it? A protest about this. They want people to sign a petition banning them from arriving because there's a lot of bad blood. And this trip seems like a terrible waste of time. I believe that the trip to Jamaica is the big warm up for visiting the United States. But it's really too bad for them because they have a lot of work ahead of them and they are being set up to fail. I mean, they're failures on their own, don't get me wrong, but they're being set up to fail. And who knows, maybe Charles is part of the setup to watch them fall. Maybe it's like Icarus and Dadius. The sun is flying too close to the sun. You know, I just noticed his teeth. Do you guys see that? Somebody must have touched up this photo. I just noticed his teeth. Anyway, the sun is flying too close to the sun. And if you recall the story from mythology of Icarus and Dadius, the father, Icarus, warned his son, Dadius, do not fly too close to the sun because our wings are made of wax. And the son didn't listen. And the actual sun melted the wings and he crashed to the earth. And that's exactly why, because he wasn't paying attention to logic. So, um, okay, I didn't mean to. Is that no? You know what? That's not the one I wanted. Let me see if I can find it. Okay. Oh, there we are. There's this. There's this. I I have to admit I don't fully understand the whole story of the Windrush, but from what I'm to understand, there were a lot of people post-war, or was it during the war, that went over to help the British fight the Second World War. And then over time, because a lot of these people of color came from Jamaica, their citizenship was put into question. Like, for instance, people who had lived there their whole life, they would say, we have no record of you. We have no record of your birth. Your parents were never citizens, and so on and so forth. And so I believe there was 183 people or more that somehow found themselves questioned about their citizenship. They were not considered subjects of the Queen because suddenly there was the records of their arrival or their parents' arrival was lost in time. So that big controversy is one of the reasons why they do not want the Cambridges to show up, because there's a lot of bad blood there. And it is only going to fan the flames of discontent, and a lot of angry people may greet them when they arrive. So, yeah. Okay, let me see here. The Windrush scandal was a British political scandal which began in 2018 concerning people who were wrongly detained, denied legal rights, threatened with deportation, and in at least 83 cases, wrongly deported from the UK by the Home Office. Right? And so, let's see, as well as those who were deported, an unknown number were detained, lost their jobs or homes. Yeah, that's right. People couldn't get their benefits because of that, had their passports confiscated, and were denied benefits or medical care to which they were entitled. A number of long term UK residents were refused re entry to the UK. A larger number were threatened with immediate deportation by the Home Office, linked by commentators on the Hostile Environment Policy Institute by Theresa May during her time as Home Secretary. The scandal led to the resignation of Amber Rudd as Home Secretary in 2018 and the appointment of Sajid Javid as her successor. The scandal also prompted a wider debate about British immigration policy and Home Office practice. The March 2020 Independent Windrush Lessons Learned review conducted by the inspector of what is that constable whatever it is concluded that the Home Office has shown ignorance and thoughtlessness, and that what had happened had been foreseeable and avoidable. So this is the atmosphere that the Cambridges are supposed to navigate when they go to Jamaica. Like I said, they are being set up to fail. There is no way William hated Meghan right from the start. When Harry and Meghan were engaged, coming out of church, Meghan was talking to him as he fumbled with his scarf and turned the other way on camera, which is good that which is good because I believe William was at a tennis match and somebody fumbled with their scarf and looked the other way when he walked past. Same flavor. That's what they say, same flavor. So, yeah, this thing with the scarf, I think that people should greet the Cambridges in Jamaica wearing scarves, no matter how hot it is. And when they, go on the walkabout, you just adjust your scarf and pretend like you don't see them. I'm only kidding. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. They should contact Prince Harry and ask him to go to Jamaica. Jamaica loves Prince Harry. Of course they do. I heard about that. What a racehorse shame of the royals. Harry has always been loved by the Jamaican people. Now what the royals done, Duchess Meghan isn't good on the royals. Yeah, of course it's not good. Yeah, that of course is one of the reasons why they I think they just shouldn't go. I think it's a bad idea for them to go. Chains. Okay. I'm sorry, you guys. Someone's at the door. Yeah. Okay. You're welcome. All right. Sorry, you guys. That was unavoidable. I'm away from home. So I don't have my usual disruption free situation, but I do apologize for that. Okay. So let me read one of your comments here. For Queen and Country starring Denzel. I haven't seen that, but I'll definitely check it out. Lots of African West Indies went to England to do the jobs that were left by the British men going to fight the war. The white women grabbed them, and a lot of them did not go back to their country. Yeah, Scorpio. And there's a similar story that happened in Germany where they were in need of labor post-war, and they invited people from Turkey to come and work in heavy industry and help rebuild the country. And then after things cleared up, then it was like, oh, you're not really German. Now, to be fair, not everybody in Germany felt that way. The same happened here in the United States. They wanted cheap labor. They invited Chinese laborers to come here to help build the transcontinental railroad. And then after the railroad was completed, they wanted them out of there. So these things happen. And on occasion, you may find in history that people were in desperate need of labor. As a matter of fact, I think that one of the reasons why my ancestors came to the United States was on that same level, except the labor was more brutal, the treatment was horrendous, and so on and so on. So, yeah, it's a story as old as time. And it's a real shame that you have these people who, in every way, feel like they were part of the empire, that they were part of something greater, that they were helping with the war effort, only for the nation that they call home to turn their backs on them. So I think that there is some really tremendous things coming down the pike that is going to not necessarily destabilize the government, but it's definitely going to reflect on the royal family. Industrial Revolution, West Indies, and mostly Jamaicans built Shutter Island. Yeah, cheap, affordable labor, the dream of citizenship, the I guess the narrative of helping the war effort and such, only to be treated very bad at the end of the day. Let me see. The movie Reuben James, a decorated paratrooper, is discharged from the British military career. James struggled to find gainful employment in the face of racehorses and corruption. Now, I want to say, I think I've seen this guy that you're speaking of in a documentary. Maybe. I don't recall the name, of course. As you see, I'm terrible with names today in particular. I couldn't even think of who Rihanna was. But yeah, this is what they are trying to send the Cambridges into. And dare I say, I don't have a lot of sympathy for them on the best of occasions. So on this worst of occasions, those two are being set up for failure. But karma, as they say, and I hate to be one of those people that say karma, but they're being set up for failure. So, you know what? Please, if you can hear me, William, Duchess Doolittle, please go to Jamaica. Please go and represent the Queen's Jubilee. Never mind, there's hyperinflation all over the world. Go to Jamaica so we can celebrate 70 years of wealth and privilege. Do it. Do it for me. Iris, you know what? I, you're saying the same thing I'm saying. They're being set up for failure. Charles was supposed to have the pandemic. I can't say that word, but does he, or is it in a distraction so that they would stop talking about Camilla? Yeah. I mean, it seems like that's the case. Um, Miss P, do you have a YouTube channel? Do you have a YouTube channel, Miss P? Um, anyway, thanks for joining us. Now, Miss P, I'm asking you if you have a YouTube channel. Now, next week, somebody's going to say, how come you never talk about Miss P's channel? Even though we're talking about it right now, I'm going to see in the comments, you never mentioned Miss P's channel. So you are on the record right now of me establishing, I believe you have a channel. And next week, somebody's going to say I didn't mention it. So you're my witness, and I want you to make sure that you call them out when they accuse me of not mentioning the fact that Miss P Talks was mentioned on Royal Sussex. Anyway, I told you it was a lot to cover today. Um, I feel like I'm missing some really juicy comments, but I got some stuff I have to do. So this is the photo that I was trying to find the other day. Cooking with Kate. Duchess of Cambridge gets stuck into a food prep session with youngsters as she dons a smart checked blazer and sharp black trousers to visit parental support project in London. In other words, there's some people of color, and she's going to pull a few faces to make sure that everybody know that she was there and that she spent some time with some people of color, especially children. Now, right now, Kate is gazing into that confused young child's eyes. Because remember, Dr. Joyce Jazz Hands wants people to ask 5 questions about a child's development. Now, I'm looking at a child that is going to look forward to years of therapy after gazing into the face of Kate Mediocre Middleton. What in the world is this connection about? If you ask me, if the kids don't have a problem before she got there, they're definitely going to be very confused when she leaves. That is a face that a child expects to lurk under their bed at night when they're trying to sleep. That is a face that is a reason to leave your light on at night. And not just for children, adults too. Matter of fact, I'm afraid to look under my bed because I'm terrified that I'll look under my bed and possibly, maybe, I would encounter this or this. Now, that is enough to haunt your dreams. So, a brave little girl staring down the face of something, I pray for you. I because I'm not sure what's going on. Yeah, it is a maniacal grin. When people send their kids out to school, do they know that this is going to happen? Do they think that there's any possibility that their children are going to encounter something like this in their school day? I don't think people dress their kids up and send them out to school so that this would happen to them. It doesn't make any sense. I understand they're trying to big her up, but you know, this thing about going to um this is like her Princess Diana moment. Now, to be fair, when Diana went to Harlem, the lady said she thought it was just another occasion where somebody comes to this program. She said that Diana actually was so involved, asked so many questions. It wasn't just like standing there and grinning and posing and such. Diana, the lady thought Diana was going to be like a big snob, and immediately Diana said, "Looks like we're wearing the same color." And from that point on, it was magic to the point where people spoke about that visit years into the future. No one could know how profound that visit would be. It wasn't just another person showing up. It was Princess Diana, the most famous woman in the world. This right here, by the time people go to lunch, they're going to forget Kate ever showed up. By the time they go to lunch, they'll be like, oh, yeah, that did happen today, didn't it? This is not going to resonate more than the lunch hour, and then it's over with. Okay. Good to hear Miss P talks. Hope you do. Yeah, welcome, Miss P. Okay. Kids never rush to Kate the way they rush to Meghan and Harry, and forget kids rushing up to Willie. Yeah, that's like running up on a oh, it's like your worst nightmare bearing down on you to have Willie glaring at you. So yeah. So this occasion, it's not just kids. Look at this guy. I'm sure you guys already seen this. It's a very short video, but this guy, you could see the amount of interest that he has on his face as he's told that Kate is going to be the patron of rugby. He looks like let's see, how could I put it? He looks like he is being consumed by his clothes. Like his clothes have suddenly become so tight that he's about to suffocate, like he's being squeezed by a boa constrictor. But that's not what's happening. He's trying to figure out what's being said. Maybe he's looking for subtitles. Maybe that's what it is. He's looking around like, are there any subtitles to this comment? Do we have to be stuck with her? What happened to the Ginger Avenger? I mean, they didn't want her in the first place. When Harry was being stripped of his titles, the last thing they wanted was this situation to occur, but yet it did. And so um, Kate is the patron of the rugby. Is it more than, I think it's one or two rugby teams or whatever. But yeah, so Kate is the patron. Like it or not, they're stuck with her. So that happened, and apparently there's nothing to be done about it. They're just stuck with her, and that's a fact. So it's unfortunate, but his eyes speak for a lot of people. His eyes are using, there's expletives happening inside of his head at that very moment. So well, this too shall pass. This too shall pass. Okay, there's a little close up of that. Yeah, there's another close up. Yeah, okay, this is what I was looking for. The usual reaction when Kate goes to visit a school. Look at the little girl on the right side there with the afro puffs. Look at her. I mean, these kids just know. Kids know. Kids know. They just know. Look at her reaction. I mean, the poor child is just, she's so flustered. And then the one on the left side, her eyes just say, "Who is this white woman? Hopper, who this woman? Hopper, who that woman?" That's what I'm seeing in those eyes. Those eyes are like, "Hopper, who that woman? Who this woman, Hopper?" Oh my goodness. Who that? What is she talk? What in the world is she talking about? Oh, Sheila Watson, you're absolutely right. She's saying, somebody get me out of here. And let's say if this was a conspiracy theory, and it's not a conspiracy, but what if this child was an actor and she's like one of those children that are like a miniature adult? Her eyes are saying, somebody get my agent. Get me my agent on the phone. Where's my agent? Yeah, if this was a child actor, she would be yelling, where's my agent? Oh boy. Happy lunch break, you guys. I hope you guys are enjoying your lunch break with Royal Sussex. Um, and then here, that's the one where the kids were like, bye. She went in that classroom and she was talking all of this stuff that she memorized about child care, child development, a child's brain, a child's well being, and such. And the kids were not impressed. Look at the reaction of these kids. Now, you could try to be fair and say, well, Baron, these are just still photos. These are photos that were shared with us by the British tabloid media to impress us with the way the Duchess of Cambridge connects with children. We're supposed to be impressed. This is not screenshots that I took out of context. This is the story that the tabloid media wanted to tell. Remember, the calls are coming from inside the house. That media. This is what they wanted us to see. Unfortunately, the children did not go along with the program. The children are not cooperating. They know BS when they see it, and they're not impressed. So whatever Lord Nappyhead and his uh, people are trying to convey, the children are not on board with it. The children are like, get me my agent. Where's my agent? Can somebody get my agent on the phone? Where's my agent? If you all don't get this girl out my face, I promise you, that little girl looked like y'all better get her out my face. Who is this? Oh, I tell you. Okay, this picture out of 200 pictures. Yes, Carolyn Sowers, you're so right. Out of the multiple photos that they were able to select, this was the best that they could do. This is always the best that they can do. Like right here, you could see the kids in the background there, the guy all the way in the back. He's actually mimicking jazz hands. You got to see the video. I did share it one time, but he's actually mimicking her behavior. That was the only thing that they could do to maintain interest. Other than that, they were completely bored with the situation. And this kid right here, this is like my favorite. This and get my agent on the phone. So I call this one throwing up the deuces. And I call this one somebody get my agent on the phone. This kid literally threw up some deuces like peace out, peace out. And the other kid, he's looking at the other adults in the room, trying to figure out why did they pick me? Why me? So you got the deuces in the middle and why me on the right. Am I translating this properly, or do you think you know I don't care anyway? But oh, okay. They have plenty evidence to support the narrative of how totally inept she is. You know, Joyce Bolt, that is a possibility. But the only thing I could say about that is that they're spending a lot of resource and a lot of time to try to build her up. So if it is a case of them setting her up for failure and not him, then um yeah, you know, it's a possibility with that family. It is a possibility. Hi, Colleen M. Who can recall 3 years ago after they left Christmas church service when it appeared that William would rather be that William would rather be strangled by his own scarf and tie than look at Meghan, who was trying to. Colleen, please don't sneak up on me like that. Please don't sneak up on me like that. You're going to make me choke on my own saliva. That is too funny. Colleen, listen. I want you to please get some help because you have been influenced by me and it's not good. I don't be like me. Everybody know I'm shady with them, but people don't know that you talk like this. So save yourself, save your reputation. I don't want you to go into the darkness with me. So, Colleen, you have an opportunity to redeem your good reputation. I'm just going to slip away from this comment, although you got me crying right now. He'd rather be strangled by his own scarf. Oh boy, that is rich. I love it. Oh, thank you for that, Colleen. I'm going to build a shrine to you later. You know that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That is the best comment of the day. I owe you one. Oh, okay. So, oh, I wish I had that photo right now, but I love it. I love it. Oh, you guys, what has happened to the lunch hour? Colleen has just taken over. This is Colleen's Royal Sussex. It has nothing to do with me. That is the best ever. I love it. Okay. So I don't know what I was talking about at this point, but my nose is running, my eyes are watery, and I'm picturing William trying to not look at the Duchess of Sussex. Ugh. Now there was a time when he didn't mind um, looking her up and down, and that was the time that Harry looked like he was gonna, you know. So there's that. But I do remember the thing with the church service. So I understand, Colleen. I can hear the frustration, and I hope they don't go, um, because it's going to be weird for obvious reasons. And thank you for making my day. And I wish it was under better circumstances, but unfortunately, I think the Cambridges are coming your way. I'm sorry. Okay, so we already talked about that thing with the yeah, so let's just forget about that. Okay, so hi sisterin, you don't know what you done walked into. You have no idea, but I feel like I am at a party. Um so there's some other stuff that we have to get to. I think, let me see, Better Up, the coaching startup that hired. Oh, you know what? I think this is an oldie, so yeah, I don't need to do that one. Okay, so we talked about this, and we talked about this already. Okay, so I think I'm through with this group of slides. I'm going to go to my other slides because we're done with all of that. Yes. So there's this. So when I made this earlier, this was before this revelation that the queen may be in peril. Now, some people say that this is just a distraction, that the queen is probably not in any danger from being around Prince Charles. But here you have, this is some of the stuff that, when I say that the Cambridges are being set up for failure, this is what I'm referring to. Excuse me. Right now, there's a lot of apathy toward the royal family and the queen in the Commonwealth among, some of the African Americans, and let's not forget, there's a lot of people in India that also feel likewise about the family. And in this age of the internet, young people are learning history that is not taught in school. Even in the United States, where they're trying to suppress the history of slavery and such, a lot of that stuff is no longer taught in school. And so the young people are not restricting themselves to the school curriculum. They're not depending on the educators to teach them. They're learning history by going on social media, by googling information, by watching documentaries and such. And so this is what the future of the royal family is going to look like. And then um there's also this, the offshore queen and such, the Guardian, in spite of the fact that people have weaponized the queen's age and tried to create this air of sympathy for the queen. I think that in the future, especially after the queen passes away, there's going to be a review of some of the things of some of the conversations that people have been avoiding for a long time. I don't think people realize how the establishment became established. It's simple. It simply stole the land and property of the poor, surrounding themselves with weak minded sycophants for protection, gave themselves titles, and have been wielding power ever since. Have you guys ever seen this before? Tony Ben? When I first saw this, I was like, wow, wow. Because it it checked a lot of boxes for me. It checked a lot of boxes. And it's not limited to Narnia. It's the story of the world as we know it. How the establishment became established. They took things and they surrounded themselves with sycophants. So please tell me, what do you think about that? Caribbean countries, please take your countries back. Elect your own black leaders. Okay, and here, let's see. Okay. Iris Demonia says, but let them tell it. They said they were appointed by God. They are relying on God for some crazy reason. Yes, ordained by God. Ordained by God. As you remember, the Queen gave that speech um, some 70 years ago. She says, no, I'm not going to do my Queen imitation right now. It would be in poor taste. I pledge with my life, be it long or be it short. Who knew, right? Be it long or be it short. She said that some 70 years ago that she's going to stick around, and she has. People of color can't forget how William treated his brother and sister-in-law in the Commonwealth service. If you hate Meghan, you hate me. People of color have not forgotten. Come on, Monroe Taylor. You better preach. Come on. Bring it. That is true. They stole from these people. Yeah, I mean, I don't know who this guy is. If you guys know who he is, I saw this and I saved it, but I never tried to figure out who he was. I just figured he must have been somebody over there. I really just stopped with his comment. I didn't care about the rest of it. Still nursing my wrist. Oh. Well, I hope you feel better. What did God say to the Queen like Moses and Abraham? Let me see. That statement is true for Britain and any place they claim as part of their realm. Well, thank you, Dolores Williams. So we have 741 people in the chat. So, in spite of the headlines of today, I had this all prepared for today, so I'm just going to share it. Queen Elizabeth goes viral for urging generosity and self-sacrifice in front of an ornate gold piano. You guys remember that? And also, complete ripoff. Buckingham Palace inundated with bad reviews on TripAdvisor. Visitors to Palace Garden complained of limited access, overpriced food, and warned others not to visit. Yeah, so I was just sharing these. I didn't have a whole lot to say about them. If you want to add anything, feel free to do so. Next. And this is another problem. If you remember when the Queen went to Scotland to open up the House of Parliament, this is one of those rare occasions in public where she was openly booed by some people in Scotland who were not thrilled that the Queen showed up. And if you remember, they tried to send message to the Cambridges some time ago when the Cambridges were going up to Scotland to say thanks for helping during the pandemic. They said, please don't come. Please don't come. You guys remember that? They went up to Scotland anyway, even though the government in Scotland said, please do not show up. And so, you know what happened? They took their big faces up there anyway. I mean, took them big faces and put their faces in other people's face only for the embarrassment that they were not welcome. They spent thousands of pounds on the royal train to go up to Scotland when they asked them not to come. They are being set up for failure. And I have to say, I'm going to enjoy watching it. And then, of course, here that cartoon image. 8 gas guzzling vehicles took the Queen of England and her entourage from Holyrood Palace to the Scottish Parliament so she could lecture Scots on the importance of COP26. That, of course, is that environmental thing. And so this is why the Queen didn't go back to Scotland, by the way. Remember, Charles went to Scotland for the COP26. William went to Scotland for the COP26, but the Queen stayed behind. And this, of course, was the first time we saw the Queen out in public using a cane. So health-wise, things were kind of going bad for her. Then she got booed. And I think to avoid embarrassment of going to the COP26, she just decided not to go back for it. So that actually happened. Out of touch with reality. Out of touch with reality. And I don't necessarily blame the Queen for that. I think that the courtiers that surround this 95-year-old woman is operating things, and she needs only show up and get embarrassed. I do too, Julia Rock. I appreciate the Scottish people. I do appreciate them. Yeah. Royal Week or Holyrood, I think that's how you pronounce it. Royal Week or Holyrood Week. Scots baffled by Queen's annual Edinburgh visit. They don't even know why she's there. This is the atmosphere up there in Scotland. Most of the Caribbean Commonwealth countries gained their independence. Their anthem was that of the colonizer. My mother, rest in peace, remember when they changed it from God Save the Queen. Thank you for sharing that, sister. Thank you so much for that. Let's see. Okay, I need to go. Oh, there it is. The growing cost of the royal family to the UK taxpayers. As you can see there on the bottom right, that's one of the few times people actually saw the Queen crying in public was when Tony Blair ordered that the Royal Yacht Britannia was taken out of the Royal Navy or decommissioned, and the Queen was visibly shaken by the situation. I don't remember seeing her crying at Philip's funeral, but she was crying a river when they took the Britannia out of service. So there's that. So I'm just going to go through these. Yeah. Okay. So the other day, they were saying that this is from a while ago where they said the Queen supported Black Lives Matter movement. Kenneth, what's his name, made up that story. I don't believe it. I don't. As a matter of fact, there was no statement from the Buckingham Palace. It was just him saying that they had a conversation about it. That conversation was probably limited to, oh dear, do you think they'll come after me? That was the conversation. It wasn't that she supported Black Lives Matter. She was just wondering if they were going to come after her. Oh dear, are they coming after me? And I support Black Lives Matter. Those are two different conversations. But in order to try to, help out, he just said, oh yeah, she supports it. Does she really? Does she really? If there is a tepid support for Black Lives Matter, why not issue a statement? Why have somebody said that they support Black Lives Matter? Say what you mean and mean what you say. Oh dear, do you think they'll come after me? So yeah, two different things. Queen did not take ownership of the allegations, says the Sussexes, if you can remember that. And then, and of course, that's not to say that Harry and Meghan actually said that. That's just something someone reported. One family lives here. This is just three of the properties that are used by the Queen. There's the Windsor Castle, bottom left, the Balmoral, which is supposed to be the private property of the Queen, and then the Buckingham Palace, which I believe is part of the Crown Estate or whatever. So there's the Crown Estate properties, and then there's the actual properties owned outright by the Queen, such as Sandringham and the Balmoral Castle. But remember, I'm just an American. I don't know what I'm talking about. That's what they always tell me. And here, of course, is the Queen out there courageously struggling in the Black Lives Matter movement. Gone is the white wig, and on is the black wig. She's out there showing what a righteous sister she is by helping the cause. Yes. Okay. Elizabeth is short of one more product to become a. Yeah, Myra, I don't think she's all together there either. The fact that she can stand in front of a crowd of people and see the British media wants us to think that Joe Biden um, is not alert and is unaware of his surroundings. But the 95-year-old Queen Elizabeth, when it suits them, she has a finger on the pulse of the whole of the British society. She has a hotline to every world leader. There's a whole lot of things that the Queen is supposed to be capable of when it's convenient for the narrative. But if it goes against the narrative, then the Queen is 95 and Philip just died, so give her a break. That's how it adds up. Are you guys ready for it? Are you guys ready? Hello, Ivy here. Hello, Ivy here. I see Ivy's in town. Welcome, Ivy. Welcome to the live chat. Hello, Ivy here. I don't know why I love saying that so much either. Hello, Ivy here. So, I think that was it for my slides. I almost forgot this one. Princess Cohort. Did you guys see that? Sunny Holston, if I'm saying her name right, Sunny had a Freudian slip, right? Instead of saying princess consort, she said, "Oh, I thought she was supposed to be the princess cohort." And they said, "Cohort? Don't you mean what is it, consort?" And she said, "Oh yeah, that's what I meant." Sunny was being very shady. Sunny was as shady as Royal Sussex after the worst of headlines. I mean, she was being very Royal Sussex shady. Princess cohort. She knew what she was saying. I know, Lydia. Somebody had to do it. I'm tired of being the one to do it. Let's see, Baron, you are wrong. The Royals played We Are Poor and got a bigger sum for the sovereign grant. See Norman Baker. They were then able to buy Sandringham and Balmoral. Oh, okay, Connie Pell. Thank you for explaining that to me. Thank you. The cohort walks with her umbrella to hide the shade. That patchy outfit that she had on, it has nothing to do with this story. I just threw it up there to be shady because I'm still trying to figure out what she's wearing. But yeah, I just did that to be shady. But it's all a big laugh. They the as you can see, Charles and Camilla, they love to have a good laugh. They do. They love the fact that they have gotten over on the world. Uh-huh. Freudian slip. Yep. Okay. Well, you guys, it's been almost 2 hours. Boy, did we cover a lot of material today. Let's see. Oh yeah, I meant to share this here. Oh yeah, I still got a couple things to talk about here. Uh, Let me move that. The Queen COVID scare. So I believe this is why they took that story from William being in Dubai away from the Daily Mail, and they put this up. Fears for the Queen as Palace refuses to say if she has COVID. Oh, did I say that? Goodness, I didn't mean to say it. I meant the pandemic. See, if I say the C word, then I'm, oh. Anyway, I'll have to get reviewed for that, I think. After it's revealed that she met Prince Charles 2 days before he tested positive, Monarch 95 is being monitored but is not displaying symptoms. Yeah. Um, so some people are saying that this is just a distraction. So we'll see. It's probably just a distraction. Um, I'm going to assume that they keep the queen safe. If not, remember Prince Charles told them to take the route differently that time the car got attacked. The royal protection officers suggested they go a different way, but Prince Charles, with all of his superior breeding, nearly got him and his emotional support, Camilla, injured that time. So I'm just trying to say sometimes Charles may have impaired judgment and he makes big mistakes. And we all know that he does not protect the women in his life. That even includes his emotional support. Camilla has a house in Wiltshire, security paid for by the taxpayer. I've heard that before. I think, or maybe were you the one that mentioned that the other day? That they protect her house? I heard Chuck had a reaction. I'm glad I didn't say that one out loud. Gloria Willie Lee got a suit on because he's just there for the photo op. Absolutely. Well, they're just doing it. They keep nasty weirdo Prince Andrew out of the press. You're right, Iris. Iris, you're on fire today. Thank you. Okay. Lizzie should never have given Camilla that endorsement. Now they are ready for her to go. Listen, I'm trying to tell you guys, stay out of the darkness. You guys are on fire today. I can't even get a snide comment in myself for you guys. This is too funny. I'm glad y'all are having fun. This is a way we can release some of our frustrations. So we have to do this to maintain, right? Yeah, so there's that. We got about what 5 minutes left. I'll talk about this. Boris eyes Samantha the Panther for his top team. Prime Minister hopes to hire Queen's ex-private secretary who worked for Meghan Markle at time of bullying claims to be Downing Street gatekeeper and bring order to the chaos at number 10. Samantha Cohen, who, let me see, released her subsequent Samantha the Panther because of her no nonsense approach at work. Well, okay. Samantha the Panther. You guys remember her? This is the Queen's top aide that was dispatched to spy, allegedly, on Meghan. As long as I live, I am going to allege that Samantha was put in place to spy on Meghan. That's it. She was there to spy. She wasn't there to help, allegedly, but there to spy on Meghan and make Meghan's life absolutely difficult. Look at her. Look at her. Look at her. Does that look like somebody who is there to help? I say not. I don't trust her. I don't trust her. And I just don't trust her. She was given a task. I don't know if it was from the Queen or who decided that was a good idea, but that was the Queen's aide. That was the Queen's aide who was dispatched to make life difficult for the Duchess of Sussex. There's the Queen giving her some type of honor. There she is walking into Meghan and Harry's wedding. Can you believe that she was invited to the wedding? And look at her face. Look at her. I don't know what it is about her, but she reminds me of somebody slick, somebody who knows how to adapt and innovate, a bit of a chameleon. That's who she reminds me of. I'm just saying. Same flavor, same energy. That's who she reminds me of. That's what I get. What do you all think? I feel that same energy, that same negative. It's like the wind picks up, the temperature drops, the clouds have gathered. There's a storm a coming. That's what I get from both of them. What say you? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yep. Yes, Ruth Lopez, thank you. Let's see. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I don't know what that's about, but I'm sure it's a goodie. Let's see. I did a video about that a long time ago. Why Meghan had to leave. And look who I put on the thumbnail. Look who's in the background. I felt it then, and I still feel the same way. I still feel like that part of the problem was that one right there in the background. Look at how she's looking at Meghan. Look at her. And she seems to be disturbed that the camera caught that nasty glance over Meghan's shoulder. Thank God. Thank you, God, for getting the Duchess of Sussex out of there. Thank you. Thank you, Jesus, for removing the Sussexes from Narnia. That right there is enough to make your blood turn into ice water. That glance that you see there. Yeah. Yeah, Lydia. Uh-huh. Now, at this point, I usually say something like, I'm sure she's a nice person. I'm sure the camera just caught her off guard. That's BS. I don't trust her. I don't trust that one right there. Everything about her and of course the whole bullying claims and stuff like that, it was just all too convenient. Yeah. Yeah, it's like bought and paid for, isn't it? Thank you, please come again. That's exactly what it appears to be. Yeah, that's what, when I saw that, I'm like, oh, not her. Not her again. Yes, Samantha the Panther. She's back. She's back. It's something about Samantha and Jason and Samantha. They're, it's like whatever happens, the world may fall down around them, but they're the ultimate survivors. She's going to be there for a long time. She is going to be there for a long time. Yep, Samantha. I think a lot of the stuff with the Tiara Gate, I think that was Samantha's doing. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It just is all too convenient. So, folks, we're at the 2 hour mark. Please continue with your comments while I do this. Thank you, Princess Diana. Sorry that in your lifetime you were not able to see exactly how much good has come from your sacrifice and contribution. But at least we have Prince Harry. You know, Harry's in a good place. He has a family. He pretty much has the life that she dreamed of for herself if she could have ever gotten away from that island. And also, thank you, Doria. We always thank our two queens. The queen of everything, Doria, for everything that she's doing for the Sussexes, and the queen of our hearts for everything that she's done to prepare Harry to have the life that he has today. So with that, I think, I think that's it for today. I'm going to look for your last comments here. I'm going to go through my slides one last time to see if I was able to get to everything that I wanted to. I'm doing that right now as I speak. So I think we covered it. Gosh, we covered a lot in 2 hours. Yep, that's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. Okay, so I'm back to the comments. I may have missed a few things. Okay. None of them in that I can't say that one are to be trusted. We are speaking of people, selected people in the government, just about everybody else in the royal household, and not necessarily the people of the United Kingdom. There are a lot of people in the United Kingdom, in Germany, and other places that support the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. So, in no way are we blaming everybody for the misdeeds of a few. But if you are not speaking out or speaking up on behalf of the Sussexes when you have an opportunity, go to HE double hockey stick. Sorry that I had to swear like that, but I'm trying to keep it clean. Black Queen, there are people homeless and starving. Why are these grifters, welfare kings and queens still in existence? Well, Black Queen, you know that if William didn't go to the UAE and plant that tree, who was going to do it? Black Queen, I think you're being unreasonable and unfair to the royal family. It was necessary to burn hundreds of pounds of aviation fuel to get him to Dubai to plant that tree. You know that. Why are you playing so much? You know that somebody had to do it. Why not William? So I think what you're saying is unjust and unfair. I understand. I get what you're saying, but toward the end of the thing, I always try to clean it up a little bit. So I'm just having fun. Don't pay me no attention. Okay. Okay. So that being said, let's see. Of course, she's earned it. I mean, look at what she's managed to do to the Sussexes. Of course, she's out of retirement. Okay, let me see. Diane, in America, you would never get in the car before your elders. In Black families, you settled them in the car first, then you got in the car. That is very true. So far, so for such wealthy people, the British royal family is always so miserable and hateful toward any positive people. That would appear to have been the situation Crystal J, thank you. Enjoyed listening to this chat. Thank you, Crystal J, and thank you for joining us here on Royal Sussex. Okay, so who wants the last word of the day? Please, nothing that is a compliment to me, because this is more about us as the Sussex Squad and not just me or this podcast. So please, someone give us the last word of the day, something that will elevate and uplift, reassure us and everything. Somebody? I'm looking for something. Like this one right here. Gwendolyn Daniel says, Samantha the snake needs to slither back under the. Gwendolyn, we're looking for a word or two that will unify us and bring us together in brother and sisterhood. Something. And while we all may agree with you in principle, let's see, Iris, what? What have a blessed day and peaceful day. Okay, I think that's it. Oh, wait. Thank you. Nope. See, chosen one. I appreciate that, but I'm trying something that's not about me. So we, the Sussex Squad, forever strong with our support. Okay, that's good enough. It's not about me. It's about us. So that's what I wanted. Something about us. And one more last word of the day. I like this one too. Let me see. Miss VSN said there are plenty of positive Harry and Meghan groups on the Facebook. Okay. Is Miss VSN with us today? Is she? Okay. All right. So, Marshawn, the ultimate last one, because I got to get out of here. As you know, I'm away from home and I got to do some productive stuff while I'm away. So, thank you all for joining us on Royal Sussex. Thank you for the super stickers. Thank you all for your comments and such. It's the fact that we all come together like this in a community, that the Sussexes are a lot safer now than they were even just a year ago. So thank you all. Love you. And I will you'll hear from me tomorrow. Okay. Yes. Be safe, all of you. Have a blessed rest of the day. Yes. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Love you.